So today I'm standing in the abandoned village of Feltville, New Jersey. Been here a few times, past couple years. There's a link up here if you want to check it out. But today we're going to try something totally different. This $12 Minolta lens on my $4,000 Fuji. Let's go. A lot of photographers already know this lens. If you were shooting in the 70s or 80s, one of these probably lived on your camera for years. Minolta built the MD Rokkor with a focus on rendering, not specs. The coatings are different, the glass formula is different, and the way it sees light is different from what's being made today. There's a version of this conversation that goes in circles. Some photographers swear that vintage glass is more filmic, less clinical, with more character. And some photographers say that it's just nostalgia, that these old lenses can't resolve modern sensors and you're wasting your time. I've heard both, and probably I've said both. What I wanted to know is exactly what happens when you take a lens designed for a 35mm film camera and put it on a 51 megapixel digital camera. The first thing that happens when you put a manual adapted lens on a GFX is the camera stops helping you. No focus confirmation, no stabilization data, no aperture data, just focus peaking and the magnified view and your own judgment. At 51 megapixels, that margin is thinner than you expect. I missed focus on the first 3 frames, just enough where I wouldn't want to print them. So I settled on 1.8 as the aperture. That's the aperture where the lens really starts to be soft around the edges, and the corners go soft, and it's a way that's really hard to recover in post. So here's the thing I kept noticing. In the center of the frame, this 50-year-old lens is doing something my GF glass doesn't do. The way the highlights roll off, the way the transitions work, there's a quality there that's harder to name than it is to see it. It's not sharpness, it's not contrast, it's closer to weight. The image has a weight on it, which makes it just feel different. I don't know if that's the glass coating that came with the lens or what happens when you slow down and use a lens like this. If you're enjoying this, do me a favor and subscribe. New video every week, and if you're adapted old glass to a modern sensor and run into the same question I'm running into here, drop me a comment. I read every one. Okay, so here we go in Lightroom. So this is probably one of my favorite images from the day. I just like the red door, the fact that that porch is falling down. There's a couple things right off the bat I'm gonna do just to, minimize some distractions. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this one, but I'm actually going to remove that telephone pole in the background. That just bugs me. I just feel like there shouldn't be a telephone pole in this shot. So we're going to take that out real quick with AI. So one of the things you'll notice right off the bat is there's a lot of vignetting in the image. And that's really because it's a 35mm lens on a medium format camera. But there is a way to remove that. If you come down to lens corrections, there is an option down here called vignetting, and you can simply just, take some of that out. Now, here's my thing. I kind of like the vignetting. I think it's kind of cool. It adds to the image. It adds to the drama. So I'm going to take some of it out, but not all of it. I'm going to leave it around 50%. One of the other things I'm going to do right off the bat is going to be in the transform palette. And I'm just going to straighten my vertical lines out just a little bit and recrop. So I don't like the way it cuts off on the right here, but we're going to leave it in for now. So one of the things I've noticed with this lens is just some basic corrections is it has a tendency to shoot warm. So right now I pulled it down to 5,000 for our temperature for our white balance. I could take it up further. That's way too far. Maybe I take it up to about 5,400, and that warms the image up just a little bit. So I like the center of the image is really sharp. I like the fact that the blurs around the edges. I could give it a little bit of clarity if I wanted to, but when you start messing around with clarity, everything gets weird. So I'm probably not going to give it any clarity. I'm definitely not going to give it any vibrance. I think that just pushes it way too far. I kind of like it the way it is right now. There's some little something here, like a piece of debris of some sort. We'll just take that out too. So that's it, basic correction. So one of the things I've really noticed about this image, compared to some other images I've shot with my GFX, is that the GFX lenses are amazing, and they look amazing, but they're almost clinical. They have no soul to them. There's no distortion. They're beautiful. And if you're looking for a shot that's very perfect and clinical and clean, you'll want a GFX lens. But if you want something that takes your shot and maybe gives it a little bit of soul, you know, a little bit of maybe not being 100% perfect, or maybe even a little bit of a vintage look, I think that's where using one of these lenses really helps out your photography. So here's what I want to tell you honestly. This lens was never designed to be on a 51 megapixel digital SLR. The corners are going to remind you of that. But there's something about the way it renders the mid-frame, the character, the warmth, the way it sees light differently from modern glass. And that made me slow down this morning. There's something about knowing you're shooting a lens that's older than most digital cameras. It changes how you frame, how long you wait, and what you decide is worth shooting. If this was useful, subscribe. I put a new video out every week, and if you're working through older glass and wondering if it's worth adapting, drop me a comment. I like to read everyone. Thanks for watching the video.